Welcome back everyone to another episode of Vegetarian Cooking with JJ. Pesach is not always the easiest time for vegans, especially if you're super strict about kitniyot. Kitniyot is pretty much anything that has an expansive or rising quality to it. That includes beans and legumes, etc. So I considered this and I wanted to make a very delicious recipe that would satisfy everyone, both texture-wise and taste-wise, and keep your Passover a little more interesting than the same old. So what I'm going to be making is a celeriac roast with some very delicious sides to go along with it to give you some great ideas. I'm really excited to get started and of course try this dish in the end. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get cooking! It's good to have a sharp blade before starting. These whole spices will add a nice flavor pop to our broth. I'm using some whole peppercorns, about 1/4 teaspoon's worth, 1/4 teaspoon's worth of our cloves. We got 1 cinnamon stick here, and I'm using 6 allspice berries, as well as some star anise that has been broken up. I'm using about 1/4 teaspoon's worth of that. I peeled some beets here, thus the red hands. We're getting a medium-sized pot filled with veggie stock. I'm using about 6½ cups worth of veggie stock. The amount will vary depending on your pot size and the celeriac size. My soup stock pot is just way too large. Add your whole spices. And I'm dicing the 2 small beets here. You don't have to worry too much about your knife skills, we just want them to be cut into small pieces. We're adding our beets to the stock, and this will provide a nice red color. With the celeriac root, you'll find it easier to use a knife to get the skin off. It has a lot of knobs and some crevices on the bottom. Of course, I washed this thoroughly. Here's our fully peeled celeriac root. And I'm going to be using some orange slices in our broth. 5 or 6 should be enough. And I decided 5 would be enough. I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning to our stock. I'm adding a couple of sprigs of thyme and 1 sprig of oregano. You want the ultimate flavor infusion. Gently place in the celery root to avoid splashing. We're going to cook it covered on this side for 30 minutes, and then we'll flip it over. Now we're flipping it over. If you have a larger pot, you won't have to do this. Now it's time to make our cranberry glaze, and I'm wearing black to avoid any possible embarrassments a white outfit might lead to. I'm adding 1/2 cup of cranberry sauce into this bowl here. Here we have our spices for our glaze, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, onion powder, garlic powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Pop these spices in with our cranberry sauce. Mix it all up. And I'll add 2 tablespoons of mushroom broth, 1 tablespoon of our stock from earlier,
1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. Stir it all up evenly.
Make sure your oven is set to 400.
The Dutch oven I'm using has been coated with oil, and we're going to glaze this celeriac the Indian way using our hands. Get all those beautiful flavors infused. I'm reserving the other half of the glaze for halfway through our cook time.
Our celeriac is all glazed and ready to go in the oven. Woo! Good thing I'm not wearing white.
I'm popping our celeriac in the oven uncovered for 30 minutes.
It's always good to keep occupied as things cook. So let's sing a song. When Moses was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. I took a peek at our celeriac roast and I'm going to reglaze it. We have 10 minutes left out of the 30 minutes of cook time on this side.
It's time to coat our celeriac with the rest of our glaze. I'm popping it back in the oven and I'll cook it for an additional 30 minutes. It's time to take the celeriac roast out of the oven. Use a skewer and pierce it all the way through. If there's too much resistance, you'll have to cook it longer, and you may want to make a little more glaze. It doesn't hurt to make extra to start with. Cut up some parsley for the garnish. I'm pairing this with roasted asparagus and vegan scalloped potatoes, made with coconut cream and wild mushrooms. To make things easier, I'm slicing our celeriac roast on this cutting board before placing it on our silver platter.
Now it's time to serve everything.
I'm presenting it with the asparagus on either side. And adding our mushroom wine gravy. Finish it off with the parsley.
All right, everyone, it's that time again. It's time to try our special celeriac roast for Passover. Or, if you want to simplify it, celery root roast if you're not accustomed to saying celeriac. Take the end pieces. They're just the easiest. Get some juices. Got our asparagus. And let's get some of our coconut scallop potatoes with our wild mushrooms. This is a bit awkward. I positioned myself in an awkward manner. Don't worry, I will get it on my plate without any accidents. There we go, nice layered potatoes here for ultimate flavor sensation. Here we are, I'm ready to try it. It's not over the top sweet, it has a perfect level of sweetness to combine with that earthiness and our herbs. And of course, the extra mushroom gravy sauce. So far, it's given me a very comforting feeling with this flavor combination. These slices would be very nice in a sandwich as well. I recommend cutting them thinner. Tastes wonderful. Get our little potato combination here. L'chaim, Chag Pesach Sameach. Cheers. What I did with the scalloped potatoes was I used a coconut cream, so sauteed the onions, got some garlic in the mix, created a kosher for Passover bechamel, and the beautiful coconut cream just really adds a nice richness to it. You can add a little bit of nutmeg, and then once it's all ready, the cream mixture is all heated up and thickened up, you just mix it with your sliced potatoes and mix it with the wild mushrooms as well for that extra umami pop. Thank you for tuning into this Passover special. And remember, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, hit that little bell notification icon so you don't miss a single video. There's gonna be a new video popping up every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern, so you don't wanna miss it. This is JJ signing off, keeping things interesting in my kitchen and in yours. Bon appetit. Ilu hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, dayenu, 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 dayenu.